विरोधात्तदिदन्तयोः त्यागेन भागयोरेकः आश्रयो लक्ष्यते यथा मायाविद्ये विहायैवम् उपाधिपरजीवयोः अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दं परं ब्रह्मैव लक्ष्यते. Now 53. इत्थं वाक्यैस्तदर्थानु संधानं श्रवणं भवेत् युक्त्या संभावितत्वानु संधानं मननं तु तत्. Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. These are the three sadhanas that one should undergo in order to attain self-knowledge. We have already discussed Shravana, Yuktya Sambhavitatvanusandhanam Shravanam. Vakyaistadarthanusandhanam Shravanam. When we do Shravana, we make use of Vedanta Vakya and analyze the Vedanta Vakya to understand the true purport of Vedanta Vakya, to understand what Vedanta Vakyas really intend to convey. So this process is called Shravana. Then Manana. Yuktya Sambhavitatvanusandhanam Mananam tu tat. Manana is Sambhavitatva Anusandhana, ascertaining the Sambhavitatva. The teaching of Vedanta is logically supported. The teaching of Vedanta is not illogical. It is logically supportable and logically supported. Understanding this with the help of yukti, with the help of proper logics, is called Mananam. Mananam is another type of vichara. Both Shravana and Manana are vichara. Shravana is one type of vichara, one type of analysis, one type of inquiry, and manana is another type of inquiry. Both are vichar, both are inquiry. Then what is the difference? In Shravana, we analyze the Vedanta Vakyas. The statements are analyzed to understand what is their true purport. We look into the Vedanta Vakyas. We see the Vedanta Vakyas closely to find out their purport. That is why Shravana happens with the Vakyas. Vakyaihi. See, while defining Shravana, he said Vakyaihi Shravana. The Shravana happens with the Vedanta Vakyas. Whereas in Manana, you are making use of Yukti. Yuktya Manana. Before doing Manana, you have already arrived at the purport of Vedanta. Manana happens after Shravana. By doing Shravana, you have understood what the Vedanta intends to convey. You have no doubt about it. Vedanta reveals Jiva Brahma Aikya. Vedanta reveals Brahman alone is real. Vedanta reveals Jagan Mithya. You have no doubt about it after doing Shravana. But then you get another type of doubt. Vedanta says so. I am Brahman. But is it logically possible? How is it logically possible? Is it logically possible? And how is it logically possible? You get these two types of questions. In order to answer this kind of doubt, you go through a process of logical inquiry. You make use of logics to understand that logically you and Brahman can be one. Jiva Brahma Aikya is logically supported. It is not logically untenable. This is what you arrive at by means of Manana. So many logics are used in Vedanta. Already we have seen some logics. Anvayavyatirekaabhyam panchakosha vivekataha and so on. So, yuktya sambhavitatva anusandhana, understanding the sambhavitatva. the logical tenability, the logical feasibility of Jiva Brahma Aikya. It is called Manana. Now, how much of Shravana and Manana should one do? How much Shravana should I do? And how much Manana should I do? The answer is Shravana should be done until what the Vedanta is teaching is understood properly. Until you understand the purport of Vedanta clearly, you continue to do Shravana. Once you understand, yes, this is what the Vedanta has to say, once you understand this, Shravana can come to an end. Vedanta is conveying only Jiva Brahma Aikya. Once you understand so, Shravana can conclude. Then how long should one do Manana? Until you have no doubt regarding the logical tenability of Vedanta. Until you have no doubt regarding the logical possibility of Jiva Brahma Aikya, Manana has to continue. The requirement of Manana and also Shravana will vary from person to person. If there is adequate Chitta Shuddhi, you may not need too much of Shravana and Manana. With the relatively lesser Shravana and lesser Manana, you can get Atmajnana. Sometimes there will be more doubts. Some minds are not easily convinced. There are too many doubts. How can it be logically possible? Is it logically possible or not? The mind throws many logical doubts. In that case, a prolonged Manana might be required. That is why, just because somebody else is asking too many doubts, it doesn't mean the other person also should ask. Some people get doubts, various types of doubts. So they try to find answer reading this book, that book, asking somebody. So Manana will be longer for some people. So next shloka. Shloka 54. ताभ्यां निर्विचिकित्सेऽर्थे चेतसस्थापितस्य यत् एकतानत्वमेतद्धि निदिध्यासनमुच्यते. Now the author is explaining nididhyasana. Before nididhyasana, one should have done adequate shravana and manana. So when does the nididhyasana begin? The author says, Tabhyam nirvichikitse arthe. Tabhyam means by means of shravana and manana. Arthe nirvichikitse. There is no doubt left regarding the artha, regarding the Vedanta artha, regarding the teaching of Vedanta, regarding the vision of Vedanta, Jiva Brahma Aikya. No doubt is left. It is very clear. I am Brahman. You have no doubt about it. Jagat Mithya. You have no doubt about it. You are very sure. This happens as a result of Shravana and Manana. As a result of Shravana and Manana, you get a conviction, a clear conviction, I am Brahman. If the conviction has not grown, that means one should do more of Shravana and more of Manana. If the conviction is already there as a result of Shravana and Manana that has been done already, then one can do Nididhyasana. Why Nididhyasana is needed? By Shravana and Manana itself, I am convinced. Then why Nididhyasana is required? The answer is, there is something called Viparita Bhavana. Viparita Bhavana means the habitual pattern of thoughts and behaviors that are opposed to Brahmajnana. The habitual thought and behavioral patterns that are contrary to the teaching of Vedanta. Despite understanding Jiva Brahma Aikya, our habitual thought patterns continue because they are very powerful. The habitual thought patterns are very powerful because they have gathered their power, they have gathered their force in many janmas. For many janmas, we have been thinking of ourselves as a limited being. I am limited. I am a jiva. I need somebody else to be happy. The world is real. So we have this thought pattern. The world is real. The body is real. I am the body. I am the mind. These identifications and all the thoughts that follow these identifications, they are very strong because we have been thinking so over many janmas. Therefore, our mind finds it difficult to come out of this thought pattern. As long as we continue to have such thought patterns that are opposite to Vedanta, our way of thinking is, I am limited. Vedanta says, you are infinite. They are contrary, opposed to Vedanta. Now there is one thought, I am limited. Another thought, I am infinite. I am infinite is a jnana. After Shravana and Manana, we will have this thought, I am infinite. But even if we have that understanding, it gets overpowered by our habitual thought pattern. I am limited. Because the habitual thought patterns are much more powerful. It has been standing there for ages. Whereas this understanding, I am infinite, it is very new. One is mother-in-law, another is daughter-in-law. So the old thought patterns overpower the new understanding. So such old thought patterns that suppress the Atmajnana, they are called Viparita Bhavana. The old thought patterns that are antagonistic to the vision of Vedanta. are called viparita bhavana. Now, if the jnana has to work, if the self-knowledge has to yield its result, it should be free from obstacles. The self-knowledge should be free from obstacles. But the old thought pattern acts as an obstacle because it overpowers. That is why one should work in the direction of removing the old thought patterns, replacing the old thought patterns with the new ones. I am limited. This thought has to be replaced by I am infinite. I am body. This thought has to be replaced by I am the Atma. I am the Brahman. Jagat is real. This thought has to be replaced by Jagat is mithya. Jagan mithya. So, in order to replace the old thought patterns, in order to mitigate the old thought patterns and strengthen the new thought pattern, the new thought pattern is the way of thinking that corresponds to Vedanta. So, this is accomplished by the process of nididhyasana. The author describes nididhyasana निर्विचिकित्से अर्थे स्थापितस्य चेतसः. In nididhyasana, you focus your mind on the teaching of Vedanta. Focus your mind on the teaching of Vedanta. Sthapitasya chetasaha. The mind is focused on the teaching of Vedanta in such a way that the Vedanta friendly thoughts, the thoughts that are in alignment with Vedanta, they continue in the mind. Ekatanatvam. Ekatanatvam means the undisturbed continuity of Vedantic thought pattern. Entertaining the continuity of Vedantic thought patterns. I am infinite. Jagat is mithya. Entertaining such thoughts, it is called nididhyasanam. Such nididhyasana can be done in many ways. तच्चिंतनम तत्कथनम अन्योन्यम तत्प्रबोधनम एतदेकपरत्वंच ब्रह्माभ्यासं विदुर्बुधाः. तच्चिंतनम, you sit somewhere and contemplate on the teaching, and the contemplation can be done by reading the book also. Take a Pancadasi, read a little and contemplate. Or take Bhagavad Gita, read a little and contemplate. Abide in the teaching. So while you read, there is a statement like Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha. You are reading Bhagavad Gita, and there is a statement Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha. This Atma is Shashvata. Atma is Aja, no birth. Just relax and contemplate. Yes, I am Aja. I am Nitya. I am Shashvata. Nothing affects me in this world. So you can contemplate so while reading, while studying. So tat chintanam. Also tat kathanam. Anyonyam tat kathanam. With the friends, one can discuss the vision. Even discussing the vision with the friends also helps in remaining in touch with the vision. Even that is a nididhyasana. Brahmabhyasa. Tat prabodhanam, teaching it to others. Someone who knows less. To the Shishya. It is also nididhyasana. Etad ekaparatvam, always being committed to the Atmajnana. Always having the Atmajnana as the priority. Abidance in the Jnana as the priority always. Nididhyasana cannot be done once in a while. It has to be nirantara, dirghakala nairantaryena. For a prolonged time, continuously, regularly, it has to be done. You do a little nididhyasana on one retreat, then after a few months, another retreat, little more nididhyasana. It is not going to help. So, nididhyasanam uchyate. Now, in the nididhyasana itself, there is a specific type of nididhyasana which is called samadhi abhyasa. Nididhyasana in the form of a meditation. You close the eyes and intensely abide in the thought of Jiva Brahma Aikya. Intensely abide in Aham Brahmasmi thought. To such an extent that you are absorbed in the thought of Aham Brahmasmi. That is called Samadhi. In the next sloka, the author explains Samadhi. ध्यातृध्याने परित्यज्य क्रमाध्येयैकगोचरम् निवातदीपवच्चित्तम् समाधिरभिधीयते. So some people may do this kind of nididhyasana. Everyone may not do this kind of nididhyasana. Some people may prefer to do it. And if the viparita bhavana is very intense, then this kind of nididhyasana is suggested. Because if the disease is very intense, severe, then the treatment also has to be intensive. Disease is very severe, then he has to be taken to intensive care unit. The care has to be intensive. In the same manner, if the viparita bhavanas are very intense, then this kind of nididhyasana helps. An intense nididhyasana which is done in the form of samadhi abhyasa. If the viparita bhavana is not so intense, it can be mitigated with the other type of nididhyasana also, like tat chintanam, tat kathanam, just reading, just studying and contemplating, just explaining it or writing it. Even that can serve as nididhyasana. So, if it is more intense, this kind of nididhyasana will help. So, samadhi abhyasa. He meditates, focuses on the Atma Jnana. Initially, the focus happens with the effort. But in due course of time, when he is sitting in meditation and focusing on the Atma Jnana, at some instance, the focus will grow very intense. It will get to such an intensity that he is not aware of himself also. He is not aware of himself as a person, as the one who is meditating. And he is not even aware that he is meditating. What he is doing, he is not aware. He is only aware of the theme of meditation, the Brahman, the Atma. Only Atma is there. He is only aware of the theme of meditation. A meditation involves three things. Dhyatra, the meditator. Dhyana, the process of meditation. And Dhyeya, the theme of meditation. On what you do the meditation. When you begin the meditation, you will be aware of yourself as the meditator, and you are aware that you are meditating. But as your focus gets more intense, there is the state of absorption. In fact, this happens in our day-to-day life also. When you watch your favorite TV program, what happens? You forget yourself. You forget the time. You forget where you are. It can happen in our day-to-day life also. But if the same thing happens with the Atma, you are absorbed in Atma, means you have forgotten everything other than Atma at that time. Then it is called Samadhi. See, let's read this. Dhyatra dhyane parityajya kramadhyeyaika gocharam nivata deepavachittam samadhirabhidhiyate. Dhyatra dhyane kramat parityajya. The mind gives up Dhyatra, the meditator. So giving up the meditator means you are not aware of yourself as meditator. Dhyana, the process of meditation also has disappeared. You are not aware of what you are doing. You are meditating, even that is not there. You are not aware of the fact that you are meditating also. Then what is there? Dhyeyaika gocharam chittam. The chitta, the mind. The mind is dhyeyaika gocharam. The mind is focused only on the dhyeya. Only on the object of meditation. In this context, it is the Atma. Nivata Deepavat. Like a lamp which burns in a place where there is no movement of wind. A lamp which is not disturbed by wind. It burns as one flame, undisturbed flame. In the same manner, the mind continues to stay in the Atma. The mind continues to stay in the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, this thought. I am nothing other than Brahman. It continues to stay in this thought. This is called Samadhi. Samadhi abhidhiyate. It is called Samadhi. So this can happen once in a while for people who meditate. Occasionally it may happen for a while. Then people come out of it. But getting this state of absorption is not the goal. What is the goal? This is only an aid. Samadhi may or may not happen. But what is the goal? The goal is to remove the viparita bhavana. The viparita bhavana can go even if you make effort for samadhi. It is like teaching an exercise. When you teach an exercise, they say you bend and touch the ground. How many of you can bend and touch the ground easily? Okay, 1, 2. 2 people are there. 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4, 5 people can bend and touch the ground. But many cannot. 6, okay. Many of us cannot bend and touch the ground. Keeping our legs straight. Keep your legs straight and bend and touch the ground. Okay, 1. 2, okay, 3. While teaching the exercise, they say bend and touch the ground. Some people will be able to touch the ground, but some people are not touching the ground. Their hand remains a few inches above the ground. Whether your hand touches the ground or not, you are getting the benefit of the exercise. Because touching the ground is not the purpose. What is the purpose? You should bend to the maximum extent in order to ensure the blood circulation in some part of the body. You should bend maximum. That is the purpose. You understand the point. In the same manner, so while meditating, our effort should be to focus to the maximum extent. And the ideal point of focus is this. You are not aware of anything other than the theme. It may happen for a while or it may not happen for a while. But whether it happens or not, the purpose of meditation is served. Because by meditation, your viparita bhavana gets mitigated to some extent. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.